Buddy. Today's March 10th. Let's talk about everything happened on March 9th. Sunday, a lot of big games. The first one is the big one, and OKC beat Denver. The funny thing is they're playing each other back to back, so they're gonna play again tonight. If OKC beat Denver again and Shea goes off, I think the MVP case might be closed, because you just beat Joker. Shea beats Joker head to head, back to back night, and then he put up a line like he drops 40 points. But yeah, Jokic played 41 minutes. Did not have the best game. OKC is the best defense in the league. He goes 2 for 10 from the threes and 2 for 6 from the free throw lines. Jokic usually doesn't miss that many free throws. Maybe he's tired. Maybe they're just super physical with him. Still had a triple double, almost a triple double, and with 1 steal and 3 blocks. In fantasy, still just amazing. Jamal Murray played 42 minutes, only 17 points. Not great. Aaron Gordon left the game in 6 minutes. So tonight, they're probably not going to have him. They're going to have Russell Westbrook maybe starting. The problem with Denver is they're just very, very thin. They're so thin. Guys, if everybody is healthy, they really just have Russell Westbrook they can trust, right? A lot of other guys like Peyton Watson, Zeke Naji, Jalen Pickett, they can't really do anything offensively. Like, okay, they can come in, maybe hit a couple big threes, but everything. Everything is going through Jokic and Jamal Murray. And obviously, Russ can help with the offense. So, Russell Westbrook is going to be a key piece for Denver in the playoffs for sure. For OKC, Shea took 32 shots. You could tell he wants that MVP. The fact that he took 32 shots, had 40 points. Meanwhile, Jalen Williams had it going as well. 26 points, 10 for 11 from the free throw line. 9 rebound, 8 assists. Yeah, amazing game. And Chet Holmgren only 25 minutes because he had, Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein, they both had a lot of foul trouble guarding Jokic. So, but the good thing is they got there are 2 of them. If there's only one, then they don't have enough bodies to throw at Jokic to commit too many fouls. So they match up really well with Denver now that I think about it. Because you could have Chet Holmgren in foul trouble, then it's okay. You have Isaiah Hartenstein, and then you have Jalen Williams come off the bench. But a lot of other Western teams, they really just have one true big man. And if they're in foul trouble, they kind of cook. They kind of have to double Jokic in a lot of possessions, basically. Good win. Well, these 2 teams are going to play each other again, so we'll see. Literally tonight. The next one is Phoenix Suns beat the Dallas Mavericks 125-116. Phoenix, if they don't win this game, what are they doing? The Mavericks literally don't have anybody. After this win, the Phoenix Suns, this is a good thing. Actually, they're going to catch. Phoenix is probably going to make the plays. They're going to catch the Mavs. Mavs can't even find enough players to suit up. They're going to punt. So Phoenix is going to squeeze in probably the 9th or the 10th seed, probably the 10th seed. But they still got to win 2 games to make the playoffs. Devin Booker, 24 points, took 21 shots, only 24 points, 4 for 4. Okay game. KD, only 21 points. Yeah, it's the Mavs defense, even though everybody's out, they still play good defense. So all the starters for Phoenix, right? Nobody really played that well. They all scored, a little bit low average, their average points. Mason Plumlee and Nick Richards, they're sharing the minutes, so nobody's really need to be rostered. Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen did their thing, but not much fantasy going on. Like if you have Tyus Jones, you gotta drop him unless there's a back-to-back. I think which they do. They have another game tonight, but you could definitely drop him after. For the Mavs, you gotta feel bad for them at some point. Naji Marshall pops off again. If you picked up Naji Marshall this week or last week, I don't know. Is he a top 10 player last week? This is what I'm saying. If you stream it correctly in the playoffs, like you would just get. Actually, speaking of top 10 players, guess who else is in the top 10 last week? Peyton Pritchard. Jordan Poole is the number 1 ranked player, but he only played 1 game, so okay, because he was out. He played but Peyton Pritchard played 3 games, 22 points, 5 threes, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 55% from the field while having exactly 0 turnover. So if you just look at 1 game, you just see a lot of weird stuff. Miles Bridges was a top 12 player. Okay, but let's look at Naji Marshall, yeah, he's the 23rd ranked player last week. Just imagine you picked him up. So I would say, especially in category leagues, you should never really give up, even if your best player is out for season, because you can pick up Naji Marshall. I'm just looking at the top 20 players last week, right? If you stream Peyton Pritchard correctly, if you picked up Cole Anthony's a top 10 player last week, right? Pirtle maybe he was dropped by a few folks, right? Devin Vassell actually was a fifth ranked player last week, averaging 20 points, 4 threes, right? Crazy good efficiency with 3 steals. So yeah, like you look at a shorter timeline, anything can happen. Jaden McDaniels was top 20 player last week, right? It's just yeah, basically you shouldn't give up. Brandon Williams was also good, but I also think he got hurt. Brandon Williams had 13 points and 5 assists and 3 steals before he left the game. So Max Christie, even Kessler Edwards, basically anybody that's healthy on the Mavericks, you could definitely roster them. Clay had 26 points. Yeah, I mean, yeah, anybody who's on the Mavs that's healthy, that's playing the next game, you probably need to have them. Naji Marshall could keep it going though. He's actually pretty good. Um, can put up numbers for sure. The next one is the Grizzlies barely beat the Pelicans. Desmond Bain, 30 points, 8 assists, 9 rebounds, 2 steals. Desmond Bain has been amazing actually last week. Desmond Bain, I just saw his name too inside that top 10. He's the 8th ranked player. He's going off at the right time, and he played 4 games last week as well. Pretty good stuff. Ja Morant also really good game, but again, this game is versus the Pelicans. It doesn't mean that much because Pelicans, I mean, they're a pretty horrible team, and the fact that this game is this close is a little bit concerning for the Grizzlies. 32 points, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 3 for Ja is amazing, and obviously they don't have Jaren Jackson Jr. So they started Vince Williams only 24 minutes though. And Santi Aldama was also out. So, okay, they got a couple injuries. So, for now, I think Scottie Pippen Jr. is somebody we could stream, right? They're really running out of bodies right now. And maybe Vince Williams, especially they have a back-to-back. Same thing with Jalen Wells, right? All these guys, I mean, the usage has to go up. The minutes has to go up a little bit, if everybody is out like this. For the Pelicans, Trey Murphy, just another amazing game with 27 points. And his efficiency is not that good, but it doesn't matter. 2 blocks, 2 threes here. Kelly Olynyk is a must roster. Jose Alvarado, as long as CJ McCollum is out, Jose Alvarado and Jordan Hawkins. I mean, I prefer Jose Alvarado for sure for the assists and steals. Jordan Hawkins mainly for points and threes, but he only played 24 minutes anyway. But Kelly Olynyk absolutely must roster with Zion Williamson out too. Kelly Olynyk can definitely be a top 12 player in a given week. If he's playing 30 minutes, if you get a bunch of steals and blocks and assists, he's going to be up there. Moving on to the next one, the Jet, same thing. These two teams, they also have crazy amount of opportunities for guys to go off. The Utah Jazz and the Philadelphia Sixers. Sixers, even though they won this game, I think they are, if Paul George, so they're 3.5 games behind the Bulls. If Paul George, I think he's also going to be shut down for season. Same thing with Tyrese Maxey. It kind of sucks, but that's the reality. If you got an IR, I would keep Paul George for a little bit. Same thing with Tyrese Maxey, but it's not trending toward the right direction. So if you have a must roster, obviously if you're in the playoff, it's obviously a must win. But let's say you don't have an IR, right? You just drop Paul George. You don't drop Maxey though, but you drop Paul George for sure because even when he plays, he's not that good. But if you got an IR, you can keep him in there, but it's not looking good for the Sixers. They're just gonna punt it away this season. They're gonna punt the season away. Utah Jazz, they've been punting, so that's good. Keontae George has been playing really good. If you can just ignore his turnovers and low field goal, 35% from the field, 25 points, 3 steals, 3 threes is pretty good. Isaiah Collier had 7 turnovers. Same thing. If you ignoring his turnovers and field goal, he's pretty good. 10 assists here with 2 steals and 13 points. There's so many guys like Filipowski, yes. As long as Walker Kessler is out, he's a must roster. Even when Walker Kessler plays, like Filipowski can come in and play 25 minutes. He's pretty good. He had 25 points and 4 threes here. 3 steals. Actually, the guy is actually a really good fantasy player. KJ Martin, he hasn't been playing well, but with everybody out, like you also need to roster him. Same thing with Bryce Sansabar, Johnny Juzang. also a guy that you could stream, but I'll prioritize Filipowski and then KJ Martin and then Bryce Sansabar. Bryce can really put up points and threes, right? And also had a good game, 4 threes, 14 points, 4 assists, 2 steals, right? Like Filipowski could be a top 20 player next week. Same thing with Bryce Sansabar. He could drop 30 points, right? One game with crazy good efficiency. So this Jazz team for sure, like pay attention to these guys, especially Filipowski, Bryce Sansabar, and KJ Martin. For the Sixers, same thing. Like Lonnie Walker right now, you gotta pick him up, and you just gotta have to pick him up. 34 minutes, the highest on the team, 25 points, 11 rebounds, 3 threes, 5 assists, and a steal. Yeah, Lonnie Walker, if you give him the shots, he's gonna put up numbers. Amazing. Meanwhile, Quentin Grimes, Kelly Oubre Jr., I think Nick Nurse said he wants to limit minutes across the board for these guys, so it's not looking good. So they just want to give. We still need to see like who will be getting the minutes, but they, like a lot of these guys, they also had some foul trouble here, so it's hard to say. But you know, you got Kelly Oubre Jr., Quentin Grimes, Justin Edwards. You obviously still roster them, but if they're getting 20 minutes, you know, you drop them. But Lonnie Walker need to be picked up. Jared Butler, right? We could definitely stream him next game. He had 9 assists, a steal and a block, 15 points, pretty good. Adeem Bona, whoever this guy is, he's playing minutes over Andre Drummond. Yabusele played just 11 minutes. I mean, they were also horrible, but yeah, pay attention to these guys. Like this guy, like Lonnie Walker needs to be rostered. Jared Butler, I would take a flyer on him. Same thing with Adeem Bona. These guys went off this game. Adeem Bona especially, 15 rebounds, 2 steals, and 5 blocks. Let's go pick him up, and you know it makes sense to play some of those young guys. Why play Andre Drummond? They're not trying to win. I mean, their season is over. So move on to the next one. The Spurs season is also over. I don't know why they're playing CP3. So you can see the minutes is getting lower and lower for CP3. Only 25 minutes here. Actually, same thing for De'Aaron Fox as well. Only played 27 minutes. Still at 22 points, but yeah, those guys are cooked. So if you don't need assists, absolutely drop CP3 this week. You should absolutely drop his ass. Bismack Biyombo, yeah. I mean, it looks like, you know, Devin Vassell, they're still giving him a lot of minutes. He's a top 10 player last week, which is absolutely crazy. Just imagine you picked him up on the waiver wire because he was underperforming for a while. So, yeah, right with him this week. They're giving him minutes and they're giving him shots. Right. Also had 2 steals and block, which is great. Stephon Castle, it's Castle season. I think he should be getting 30 plus minutes. And CP3 and you know De'Aaron Fox, their minutes should be lower. Like that's the trend they're going. Stephon Castle only 27 minutes, but still 20 points is pretty good. 4 assists and a steal. Same thing with Keldon Johnson. Like okay, maybe we could also stream him for some points and rebounds and threes. Right. He provided those categories. For the Timberwolves, great win, but you know this 7th seed. Oh wow, they also won 5 straight. Can they catch up, or is it even worth catching up? Because that's the thing. Like if you're gonna be in the 5th, 6th, 7th range, it doesn't matter too much because most likely you are going to. It really just depends on the team you play. Right? Most likely you're not gonna have the home court. Unless you catch the Grizzlies to be the 4th seed. Like you're not gonna have home court. So it's like, okay, do we want to play the Lakers or the Nuggets? Or maybe if you get to the 4th or 5th seed, right? That's a lot easier. So I think the 4th and 5th seed will be very crucial. If the Warriors can make a push to the 5th seed, then you know I think it makes a big difference because instead of playing Nuggets or Lakers or even Thunder, now you play the Grizzlies or the Rockets. Right? It's just a lot easier. Speaking of the Grizzlies, we'll look at the numbers. Rudy came back, had a good one. Randall had 10 assists, 14 points. Jaden McDaniels is the guy that I saw. He was like top 20 last week. A guy that was once droppable, right? 7 assists, 2 steals, and 16 points and 2 threes. Pretty good. Dante DiVincenzo, I think he needs to be rostered. 4 threes, 17 points off the bench. And Naz Reid, I think we can continue holding him for maybe a game or two. Because Rudy had some foul trouble. Also, he's kind of slowly ramping up. So Nasri will still have like 25 to 20 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, and they've been playing well, so they don't have to mess around with it. If Nasri is playing well, don't mess around with it. Just like keep giving him the minutes. The next one, the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Bucks. Yeah, the Cavaliers are just a good team. Is the Bucks full strength here? Yeah, both Giannis. Yeah, they all played. Cavs, Darius. Yeah, this is not a close game, so it's like Garland and Mitchell only played on sub 30. This is the problem with these teams is they're so good that they don't play 30 minutes. It hurts their fantasy. Mobley and Allen both had 3 steals and block, did their work. Cavaliers boring fantasy wise because they're just a good team. Nobody's really nothing much is going on for the Bucks. Dame had 22 points. Giannis had 30. They got theirs. The rest of the Bucks, Kyle Kuzma, they got him for scoring, 14 points, 2 threes. Is that gonna be enough? Like Chris Middleton for sure is a way better playmaker than Kyle Kuzma. So I wonder now you have only 2 guys instead of 3 is getting Kyle Kuzma is really making you better because Chris Middleton he is ramping up. Like he could give you good 25 minutes. I know he's been hurt the last 2 seasons always. I don't really see why they made the trade, to be honest with you. Like if you got somebody else than Kyle Kuzma, maybe they think Kyle Kuzma is really good. If they just need a third scorer, right? But Chris Middleton should be way better, like way more efficient, right? Just from pretty much everywhere. I don't know. The next game, Detroit, they're just really good. 119-112, they beat Pistons. All-Star Thompson, a little bit disappointing, had 5 fouls, but continue to roster him. Jalen Duran had 18 points, a double-double, 2 steals. He's been playing a lot better. Kate Cunningham, 28 minutes, 5 assists. 28 points, 2 threes. Also pretty good. Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. both hit a couple threes. Malik Beasley did not have the best game, but I think if you need threes, yes, you need to roster him. And Tobias Harris had 2 blocks and 20 points and added 1 3 as well. So overall, this Detroit team, they also have Shooter playing 24 minutes. They are ready to go into the playoffs, and who knows, maybe upset some teams because they're right now the 6th seed. Who knows? They could be the 4th and the 5th seed. I mean, that's crazy. They're only 1 game behind the Bucks. That is absolutely insane. I mean, if they somehow got the 4th and 5th seed, let's say they play the Knicks. Who knows? Knicks, Bucks, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they're gonna be the favorite for sure. But there's a clear tier. They're a clear tier below Celtics and the Cavs. So don't be surprised if they lose to anybody. Especially with Detroit, the young team. They're hungry, right? They play amazing defense. They obviously lack experience, but For Portland, another team with a lot of good players, I think we need to pay attention. Scoot Henderson played 32 minutes. If you're okay with bad field goal and if you're okay with turnovers, he's the guy that you want to have. 15 points, 6 for 7 from the free throw line, right? Anthony Simons just went off, 34 points with 4 threes. Great. But Portland, they're going to be out of the plains. So I wonder if they're going to rest some of these guys. Jeremy Grant came back, had 25 points and 6 threes, also pretty good. If you look for points, right, you're looking for threes, you're looking for a guy that can score, like Jeremy Grant. If he's on the waiver wire, for sure you could pick him up. Toumani Camara had 1 steal and 2 blocks. That's what he does. That's great. And Donovan Killigan, he's been disappointing, but 9 rebounds and steal and 2 blocks in 22 minutes, it is okay. I'll take it. I think he still needs to be rostered. In the playoffs, of course, look, if you don't need a big man, right, you're trying to win 3 points, assists this week, you could actually just drop him. Because he give you none of it, right? So those are some things you should be thinking about going to each playoffs. It's nice to have him, but come on, we're in the playoffs. Unless the guy is like a top 30, 40 player, like you could always drop him. The last game of the night, the Clippers, I think Kawhi hit a game winner over the Kings. It was a putback, I believe. Kings, they are safe. They're going to be the 9th or the 10th seed. They're going to be in the plains, right? Can they catch up to the 8th seed? I guess it's possible. This is actually a huge win for the Clippers because the Clippers, if they lost, right, then, the Kings could be the 8th seed. It matters a lot if you're the 7th or 8th seed versus 9th and 10th because you only need to win one. Only need to win one game out of two to make the playoffs. Versus if the 9th and 10th seed, you need to win 2 games. The probability shift a lot, right? It's actually huge. So yeah, for Kings, they definitely want to get to the 8th seed. So this is a big loss for them. Um, it sucks, but Zach LaVine and DeRozan, they both play well. That's great. Valanciunas, here we go. 17 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal and a block. Really good. Only 7 points, but he's a must roster. They're gonna rely on him with Sabonis out for sure. Keegan Murray also played huge minutes, didn't do anything with it. Keon Ellis, you could always stream him for some defensive stats, even though he only got 1 steal here. For the Clippers, I would stream Bogdanovic, although he only played 23 minutes here. But the thing with Clippers is they have so many guys in and out the lineup. So if Bogdanovic is healthy, right? Clippers has a good schedule. Like I would definitely stream him for some points, threes, and assist. Chris Dunn only played 27 minutes because he had 5 fouls, but he's also a guy that we should be streaming. If this week you need defensive stats and you need assists, he give you those. Really good. He could go off for 5 assists and help you win your playoff match for sure. And that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.